What's up, Falcons Nation? It's your boy Jew coming at you with another Atlanta Falcons video. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up. In today's video, I would like to talk about Myles Garrett and should the Atlanta Falcons trade for Myles Garrett. But if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you know when I've done Atlanta Falcons content or NFL content. If you'd like to follow your boy on Twitter and Instagram, you can follow me at Jew Talk Sports. And if you'd like to be a part of my Jew Talk Sports membership, you can hit that join tab here on the channel as well. But with that being said, let's jump right into the video. So as I mentioned in today's video, I do want to talk about Myles Garrett, star pass rusher for the Cleveland Browns. Today he did request a trade from the Cleveland Browns, and I definitely think that the Falcons should be in the running as one of those teams that should try to do everything in their power to trade for Myles Garrett. Terry Fontenot in this front office, if I'm them, I'm putting up guys like Kyle Pitts on the trading block. I'm putting up draft picks. I'm doing whatever I need to do to make sure Myles Garrett becomes an Atlanta Falcon. Personally, I think that Myles Garrett is arguably the best pass rusher in the NFL. He's had double-digit sacks every single season he's been in the league outside of his rookie year. But he is one of those guys that's a generational type pass rusher. And the Falcons haven't had a great pass rusher since John Abraham. So at this point, the Falcons have to do everything in their power to bring in Myles Garrett. And I really understand where Myles Garrett is coming from on why he would like to be traded. Being that he's been with the Cleveland Browns and he's stating that he wants an opportunity to win Super Bowls, and he hasn't been able to play in many playoff games or make any deep playoff runs since he's been in Cleveland. And being that they're kind of in a rebuild mode, I definitely understand why he would want to be traded at this point. And hopefully the Atlanta Falcons are able to put their bid in to get a Myles Garrett. Like I said, I really feel like the Falcons are one of those teams that have a lot of assets. And Kyle Pitts is one of those assets. Kirk Cousins is another asset that we have in our back pocket. Now, I believe that Kirk Cousins does have a no trade clause, but I'm sure he possibly will be willing to waive that no trade clause if he has a chance to be the starter there in Cleveland. And with Deshaun Watson currently being out with that Achilles injury, he's not going to be ready to play at the start of next season. Maybe they trade Kirk Cousins and Kyle Pitts, or possibly some type of package deal for us to bring in Myles Garrett. But Myles Garrett is one of those guys that I think instantly improves your pass rush. He is one of those guys, when I talk about having a guy in your front seven on that defensive line that can wreck games, that's what Myles Garrett is all about. He's a guy that can wreck the game just by himself. And if you put him on our defensive line alongside of Grady Jarrett and some of the talent that we have, he immediately attracts the offense's attention, where when they're game planning, he's a guy that they have to be prepared for. Big number 95, Myles Garrett, he's one of those guys that's a game changer and a playmaker. And I definitely think that the Falcons have no choice at this point but to push all their chips into the middle of the table and see what happens. Now, of course, Myles Garrett is going to have a say. His team is going to have a say on where he's traded to. But hopefully our Atlanta Falcons is one of those teams that he finds desirable. And hopefully the Cleveland Browns, looking at Kyle Pitts, looking at some of the players that we currently have on this roster as possible a trade partner with our Atlanta Falcons. So with that being said, you guys give me your thoughts on Myles Garrett coming to the Atlanta Falcons. Do you think that it'll be a wise move to move Kyle Pitts, to move Kirk Cousins? Personally, I feel like both of those guys are on the trading block at this point, and I wouldn't even be, I even would be willing to give up a draft pick as well. So personally, I would try to package together either Kyle Pitts and a draft pick, or maybe Kirk Cousins in the draft pick, maybe a first or second round pick to bring in a Myles Garrett. But with that being said, I have a lot more content coming for you guys. But as always, Falcons Nation, rise up, be blessed. Peace.